And then there's another part of your brain that's the critic, that's the, that is analyzing every little bit that you see. And I think like the most powerful moments were when that critic just got shut down, and I think, watching Zoe and Ben was just like my brain sort of short circuited. And coming to set was crazy. I feel like we'll be more free to talk about stuff in the future, but right. Is there a vague moment, a non-spoilery moment you can talk about where it felt, because you've done films before, but this is different.
It is. It really is different. It's different in the sense that you do feel part director and part producer and then part writer all at once, in that you have all the problems to solve, but you don't necessarily get to take time to enjoy the victories. But I would say there were a lot of really precious moments that I hang on to from this production. And one of them was, we have such a lovely cast who are really good people and good to each other. I think we lucked out incredibly well with that. So we have a bunch of decent human beings. And having been on a bunch of sets in my career, I have seen that is a rarity. But one of the things that I enjoyed was when one of them delivered a great performance, I would get so giddy and I would end up doing what they call the white man's overbite. I was like a little dance that cracked everybody up. And Jessie would often show up to set even when it was on her day. Like, she wouldn't even be on the call sheet, but she was there to support her friends. And, whether it was Freddie or Mita or a kid or anybody who would be there for an important scene.
Yeah.
One day she said, "You're going to make Eric dance." And that stuck with me for whatever reason.
Dance, Eric, dance.
Yeah. And I think what made it most real for me, beyond that, there was a moment that really gave me goose flesh and sort of came out of nowhere. And it was in one of the Crow Club days of shooting, and I was seated at a table where everything is written in the Kirch language on the felt, using the Crow Club cards with a number system that we designed. And I was speaking to someone who was essentially just a dealer there. And I said, "Here's how the way people in Kirch count money." And as soon as I said that, I went, "Whoa, that's weird." So
you were in deep undercover there.
I was in it. Yeah. What was it for you? But you got here, you showed up after a lot of stuff was already made. You were absolutely, visible to a lot of the processes and the parts of those production steps. But to see it in person for the first time, fully realized, how was that?
I cried a lot, which should shock nobody because I cry at everything. And Archie laughed heartily when I started crying when I met him and Jessie. They were in costume though, and it was just too much. I think, there are two minds working in that moment. There's this kind of child mind that is literally saying, my dreams have come true. Like, this is happening. Like, I've been asked about adaptation. You talk about adaptation, you dream about adaptation. And the whole time, even in the writer's room, even when we were greenlit, I was like, it's not happening. It's not happening. Like, this is all a cosmic joke, like Netflix has some kind of dark sense of humor where they just throw a lot of money at tormenting authors. But I didn't, so that is one part of my brain that was just sort of like firework explosions going off. And then there's another part of your brain that's the critic, that's the, that is analyzing every little bit that you see. And I think like the most powerful moments were when that critic just got shut down, and I think, watching Zoe and Ben was just like my brain sort of short circuited. And there was also this moment where, the energy of that set and the energy of that writer's room too was so loving and so positive and so like just you could feel it immediately. And I came back to set a second time and I could hear I call them kids, but they are grown-ups, but like to me are wee babies. And I could hear them singing with each other.
Yes.
And I'm like, they've been working, they've been away from home, they've been away from their family, they're exhausted like for months and months and months, and they were singing together. And I was like, wow, like no matter where we end up, this is actually something extraordinary. So it was pretty cool. Also wearing a kefta was pretty great. So
you look amazing in it.
I have never been more tired than that day of shooting. I had so much more appreciation and respect for what actors go through because wow, that is I've never been through anything like that in my life. And I was laced into a corset in that kefta, so I was like, oh, just tip me over. I can't even sit down. Like it was intense, but amazing.